Hey friend, Colin here from Sumthins Recording, and today I'm going to show you how to balance your overheads to get a better picture of your drum kit. Today we're going to look at balancing your overheads using the splitter tool inside of PreSonus Studio One to help you get a better picture of your drum kit from just your overhead mics. But before we dive in, if you're looking to dial in a repeatable workflow for cranking out professional sounding drums right from your home studio, then you need to go through my 3-step framework for mixing drums workshop. This workshop is going to walk you through a simple 3-step process that I go through on almost every single one of my mixes to help you get professional drum mixes from your home studio. It is a 100% free to watch, on-demand video training, and you can get free access to that by clicking the link below in the video description. Now, let's jump in here and take a look at this drum mix. So you can see I've got something here called Overheads 2. These are the original overheads for this track, and we're going to talk about balancing them better to fit inside the track and to get a better picture of our drums overall. Let me hit play here. You can hear our track so far, and then I'm going to solo up just the drums for the song.
I'll send my love on a shooting star. I'll send it fast and I'll send it far. Hear your voice in my sleep at night, but only in my dreams could it be this right. To me it won't never be the same, so please come back. I miss you, Jay.
You can hear the overhead sound a little out of whack, a little crazy sounding. That hi-hat feels out of balance. It doesn't feel quite right, and it doesn't blend well with the rest of our drum tracks, with the rest of our spot mics here. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and better balance our overheads to get a more cohesive picture of the kit that will blend better with our spot mics. So let me solo just the overheads here for you, and you can hear what they sound like. So one thing you notice right off the bat here is we're really leaning to the right side here. And it's not that the right side is louder, it's that we're leaning to the right side. Things feel like they're stretched over to the right side. We have more snare coming through on our right side. Our kick feels like it's leaning to the right side. Everything's out of balance here. And it's not just like we have more hi-hat over there because the drummer's playing the hi-hat and the hi-hat's, going to be right audience perspective. It's that everything's leaning over that way. So it's throwing our overheads out of balance. That's why it feels wacky when we play it with the rest of our kit here. So we need to balance our overheads before we try and mix them in with the rest of our kit here. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to pull in the splitter tool from inside of Studio One. Now we can do that with the routing function, or I believe it is over here in the plugin window or the effects window as well. I like to do it here on the routing window. So if we come up here to routing, so we open up our plugin window, click on routing, our splitter tool is right here. So I'm going to pull in our splitter tool and put it right at the top of our chain here. Now what this lets us do if we go into channel mode is it gives us access to the left channel and the right channel of our mix here. So let's take a listen. So we can hear that our overheads are leaning to the right side. Now if we flip back and forth between stereo and mono, we can hear how far off our snare and kick are from the center. So we're not that far off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to the right side here, and I'm going to pull this down, maybe just a dB to start, and let's see where we end up here. See if we have a better balance now. Now we can hear, as we flip back and forth from stereo to mono, that our snare's not moving around, right? We don't flip back to stereo and our snare shifts over the right side. Our snare and our kick drum are staying pretty much in the same place here. And all we've done is we've opened up our access to our left and our right channel, and we've pulled the right channel down about 2 dB. So our right channel is sitting up higher. It's not that just the hi-hat's coming through more on that side. It's that our whole right side of the overheads was 2 dB louder than the left side. So our overhead channels were out of balance here. Pulling down or reining in that right side, we get a better balance on our overheads here. And now our snare is back in the center. If one side is louder, it's going to feel like we're leaning off to that side. We're going to be lopsided, right? Because our right channel was louder, we get more snare and we get more kick drum coming through that side. And then suddenly our drums are out of balance. So listen one more time here as I flip back and forth from stereo to mono. Pay attention to how our snare and our kick drum feel as we flip back and forth. They're no longer shifting off to the right side as we flip to stereo. Now if we look at our channel, we can see our right channel is only slightly louder because now it's where it should be. Our hi-hat is playing, so obviously we're getting more cymbal noise on our right side because that's where our hi-hat is oriented. So our right channel should be just a touch louder, but every time our snare hits, we feel it right in the center of our track, which is where we want to feel it on our overheads. We don't want to lean to one side. That's going to throw off our balance. Now if we tuck this in with the rest of our drums, we should be in a better place. Now our drums aren't feeling wacky here. It doesn't feel like we have a weird overhead orientation. It doesn't feel like we're leaning to one side, like there's more snare coming from one side or there's more kick coming from one side. Everything feels like it should. And if we solo up our overheads, we have a clear picture of our drum kit. It's clear and it's focused. There's not things moving around. We're not leaning to one side. Everything feels like it's where it should. We can close our eyes and visualize the drummer in front of us. Hi-hat on one side, kick and snare in the middle, cymbals oriented where they should be.
I'll send it fast and I'll send it far. Hear your voice in my sleep at night, but only in my dreams could it be this right. To me it won't ever be the same, so please come back, I miss you, Jane. I'll send my love on a shooting star. I'll send it fast and I'll send it far.
So if you're struggling to get a balance on your overheads, if things feel like they're leaning to one side, check your two different channels. And if you don't have the splitter plugin like we do here inside of Studio One, split your channel off to mono, split your stereo signal off to mono, and balance your right and left channels so your snare feels like it's in the center and so your kick drum feels like it's in the center. This will give you a better picture of your drum kit overall. I hope that was helpful for you. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you're ready to level up your drum mixes, then you need to go through my free 3-step framework for mixing drums workshop. This is a free video training that will help you dial in a repeatable workflow for cranking out professional sounding drum mixes right from your home studio. Completely free. You can get access to that by clicking the link below in the video description. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.